Part 2, Warragamba Dam. Here we go. God, look at the old thing. God, I used to go there when I was a kid. I wanted to get in the old pictures when I was out there when I was a kid, when we used to go out there on a bus and come up there. But anyway, too long ago. Oh man, I don't know how many times I photographed that big old thing. That's where the water goes up. It goes down. There's the turbines down there. Beautiful place. Go there and have a day out. Feed the kangaroos and have a good time. Right. This is when the spillway. When I was a kid, this sandstone here come right across out here. And they dug all that out after, and they built all this sort of stuff. I don't know how many stories I've done on it out there. See, originally, that sandstone come right across over to there. And we used to go down there in a bus, and we went up there. And there's the old road. We went up there as school kids about 1960. So that's where we went. Sorry, 1970. I almost said 1960. And then they dug that out, made that into a great big spillway. Right, Warragamba Dam. 14,000 square kilometres behind the Warragamba Dam. So let's go down and have a look. We're going to do this off the computer. I'm not going to drive around out there in the country. I mean, you're not going to pay me to do it. Let's be realistic. Right, where's the catchment area? This is an educational video. If you've never been out here to Australia. Right, it's all right. First of all, let's have a look here. There's the dam. Right, let's go back up this way. Let's see where the first creek takes us. And follow the mouse. It goes up and around here. And it goes around there. And yeah, look, we can do all that all day. Basically, all the water that comes down the back of the Warragamba Dam, let's say, just say, for example, the back of Warramoo, I'm not going to be precise here, Valley Heights, you can virtually say the Great Western Highway and the railway line is the boundary for the water. So this side it goes that way. And it's to that side, it goes the other way. Right? And that goes all the way right up along. And that's why the Great Western Highway was built where it was built. And we continue on, and we come right up here to Woodford. So basically, if you want to come down into Warragamba Dam, if you're standing up there in Katoomba, and you bungee jumped or parachuted off on the Three Sisters side, you come out there at Warragamba Dam. Now, the only place where the water comes from the other side of the highway is here at Wentworth Falls. But not very far, just over there. Wentworth Falls Lakes. But if you look at Blaxland Road, on the other side of that, it goes the other way. It goes down to the Gross River. Right, you've got to remember these sorts of ridge lines, right? That's why it's called Blaxland's Road, because that's where the explorer Blaxland went, right? Look, see, the water goes that way. That's still Wentworth Creek, still runs down into the Gross. So there's the boundary, see? There it runs into there, goes back over to this side. This side of Blaxland's Road, it goes that side. It goes down to the Gross River. On this side here, Valley of the Waters Creek, it goes down to, you said it, Warragamba Dam. So you can do all this at home and educate yourself. So if you stood here Skyrider motor in up here at, where am I? God, I forgot what suburb. Katoomba. Between Katoomba. You're on this side, you're going to get to Warragamba. You go this side, you're going to get into Gross River. And then, same here. Look how close they get. There's a creek there and there's a creek there. That's the Gross River. That's Warragamba. And people don't realise that that road there basically is the boundary. Now, okay, all right, I can follow that all the way right out up there and take it right out here. But when you get up here, this is the other boundary people don't get. They think it's a Great Western Highway all the way through up this way. It's not. See? If you watch, you see this water and this chamber from Darling Causeway Road, which is the one that goes next to the railway line from Mount Victoria over to Dargan. Let's have a look, see where all that goes. Now we're just going to follow it down, runs up here, runs over there, comes down a creek, wiggles down over here. Oh, look, it escapes at Hartley. See? That's where it escapes. And then it comes back down here, down through Jenolan Caves, and winds its way down Cox's River, Coxs. XS. Cox's River, which goes down to Warragamba Dam. So then the boundary road then is Darling Causeway and right up here to the Bells Liner Road, which is actually then changed its name into Chifley Road. Now, Chifley Road is named after the former Prime Minister, Ben Chifley, from Bathurst. And see, there's water table there. It goes that way, and that goes that way, which is Dargan's Creek, which is, I done the story on Dargan's Creek there the other day, when I was up there at Nunes Junction, right there, Nunes Junction, you can see it there, whoop, right, see the water? But look, it just sneaks underneath the road, look. And where does that come from? The other side of Nunes Junction, it comes around the back there of Zigzag. See, there's the salad shop. Where am I? Sorry. There's the salad shop. Ben Chifley Road. That's meant to be over here somewhere. It's not out in the middle of nowhere. Or is it? Let's click on that. Let's see where that is. Let's have a look at the salad shop. There you go. That's on Kerma Crescent. Oh, that's an interesting one. Why would you have a salad shop all the way out there? I mean, good to learn something new every day. Look. Something I didn't know. Oh, anyway, I learn something new every day like you do. So I don't know why they have a salad shop out there. Anyway, so where's our water? So our water then goes the other side of the railway line at Nunes Junction. It runs that way. And there's the railway line there. So then this side of Dargan comes down this side. Clarence Colliery Road, that sort of is the boundary. And so anything really that comes down Chifley Road, Zigzag. Now let's just say you threw a ping pong ball in the creek, Zigzag. Right, there's Zigzag train station. You threw a ping pong ball in there. Where's it going to go? Let's have a look. Chifley Road. No, it doesn't go that way. It goes this way. and it comes down Farmers Creek. And where does Farmers Creek go? It goes all the way over here, and nope, that's an inlet. Farmers Creek runs up here. Farmers Creek comes around here, into the back of Lithgow. Round the back end of Lithgow. It's got to go somewhere. Where does it go? Where does it go? I've lost it. Hang on. Farmers Creek. Oh, there we go. Comes back down here, Farmers Creek. Comes around the back. All the way over here, out in the middle of bloody nowhere. And eventually, yeah, you guessed it, Cox's River. Cox's River is going to go down to Warragamba Dam. You don't believe me? Let's go for a quick look. Right, there's Cox's River. And then it goes down Settlers. Hang on, where'd I go? Went the wrong one. Cox's River. Down here and comes all the way down here to Warragamba Dam. And it just keeps coming and keeps going. There's the rivulet, Cox's River. Keeps coming down here, Cox's River. This is the one you see from Jamison Valley. When you're standing up there at the Three Sisters. See? How about that for a name of a town? You see it? Right. So, Cox's River, got a couple of big ponds on it. And it just winds its way around. It's mind-blowing, boring. If you don't understand it, this is a good learning one. Cox's River. And this is why they say, why do people get lost in the Blue Mountains? Cox's River camping ground. Now you're going to say, well, how would you ever get flooded? Well, look how far that water's already come down from the back of Zigzag. My God. Now you're starting to understand why they say it's 14,000 square kilometres. Look at all these little creeks that come in. Right? And it keeps going and keeps going. So if you've got nothing to do, look, you can go around and do this here yourself. And Cox's River comes over here. And then, holy presto, round we come into the big water hole. And lo and behold, what's down the bottom? Come down here, and you can't see it when you stand there. Warragamba Dam. There you go. So we just proved it, right? We've gone for our little swim all the way from the salad shop, right up here at the back of Lithgow, up here at Zigzag, and it comes out at Warragamba Dam, right? So, if you get lost and you fall in the creek, now this is Zigzag lower points, not the high points, this is the lower points. So that water there also comes under there from Chipley Road. And you notice how it runs north under Chipley Road? Alright? Now where's Zigzag Railway Station? Precisely from that. There's Chipley Road there. Gun replacements. There's Memorial Headland, so that's the top of the hills up there at Lithgow. So Zigzag itself up here, temporarily closed. Any water on that side of the road comes back to Warragamba Dam as well. See, so if it rains in the car park of Zigzag, it would run down here to Dargan's Creek. Right? So either end of Zigzag, and if you really go and have a look, you can see here, up here, is the mountain range Dobbs Drift Lookout. Go look for that. And you got to wiggle your finger around there all the way through all the mountain ranges. And that's how it self-divides. Now, okay, so how much further does this all go out? Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's 14,000 square kilometres. So, okay, there's water there, there's water there, there's water at the back of Marangaroo Camping Ground, Cox's River. Well, we know Cox's River is Warragamba Dam. Bushman's driveway out here, Lake Wallace comes into the Cox's River. So there you go, Wallerawang, Cox, see, Lake Wallace is Cox's River. And a lot of people don't realise that. So if you're sitting up there at Lake Wallace Camping Ground, up here in beautiful downtown Wallerawang, having a cup of coffee, you're down there with John, up here at his Station Espresso, and you see the rainwater go down there onto the train station, there at Wallerawang. Hey, that's my photo. No, it's not. I'll take the same photo. Right? That's still going to go down to Warragamba Dam. Out there at Wallerawang. So how much further is the water catchment area of Warragamba Dam? Now, isn't this mind-blowing? Did you know that? You know your Cox's River goes right there to Wallerawang? And look how else further out it goes. It goes right out here. Piper's Flat Creek, Piper's Flat Road, and there's a bit of a boundary over there. Now, Portland seems to go down Dole. Where is it? You can read it yourself. Dulhunty's Creek. Well, I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth here. I'm going to take a guess. I don't know, but I'm reckon that's going to end up down there on the Colo River. Yes, it's Ben Bullen. Cullen Bullen. See? It goes north, and then once it goes north, it then winds its way up, winds its way around, and that's definitely not going to go down in the Nepean, because then it goes down Jews Creek, and that goes all the way out up here towards Turon River, and then Turon River, oh man, that just goes on and on and on and on. And eventually it's either going to go to South Australia or else it's going to come back down the Colo River. So I'm not even going to do that one yet. But if you want to go do it, you go watch where the Turon River goes. Oh, bugger. All right, okay. All right, let's just keep going. Let's see where it goes. We can sit here all day. It's going west. It's not going south. If it's going west, that's got to come out of Adelaide. And it comes back down here. No. Oh, okay. Now changing direction again. Oh, mate. It is Bathurst. There you go. So it comes around the back of Bathurst. Oh, my God. Guess where that's going to come out. Oh, God. We all got to now work out where that's going to go, don't we? There we go. Bathurst. Comes around down there through Bathurst. And where do you think it's going to go? Macquarie River. And it's definitely going to join up there with the Cox's River. That's a definite. I'd put $50 on that. Now that's a catchment. Hang on. I missed the turn off. Where's the turn off? There we go. Comes down this way. Look, I'm going to get a headache. I can sit here all night. But basically, when you look at all these places out here at O'Connell, Tennis Mountain, all these places out the far west, they're also going to end up back over here at Oberon, which means eventually somehow or another, they're either going to end up coming down into the back of the Nepean. Because if they come down the back of Oberon, remember, the Nepean River comes in there from Goulburn and Canberra. So eventually, somehow or another, the water just works this way. So look, here's the Cox's River over here. See? But if you want to sit there and do it, you want to sit there and give yourself something to do, you're going to have a damn good time, right? Go and learn your local waterways. And now, when they say 14,000 square kilometres catchment area, you know what everybody thinks? They think the catchment area is flat, like a TV screen. It's not. Maybe you've got mountain ranges, right? And you're going to take the distance up a hill and the distance down a hill, even though it's only that far across the bottom. Say if it's 1 mile, 1 kilometre, it might be 1 kilometre up, 1 kilometre down. So that's the fact you've got 2 kilometres for every 1 flat kilometre. Now do you see why it's 1,400 square kilometres? Because you don't take it into contrast in your mind, and your mind doesn't think, how many hills are there? See? People think flat. They think it's like a desert. It's not. Look at the mountain ranges. And then the other big thing, as a water researcher, people forget that when it rains up there in the Blue Mountains, now this is going to shock you. See all the little valleyways? That's why all these creeks run around. Look. It's like a great big arterial veins down through the muscles of your legs and down through your brain. Imagine that's a picture of your brain. That's what it looks like. The same sort of thing. Right? So, sandstone collects water. Goes down through the sandstone. It might take 7 days, 14 days to come out. And then when it comes out, then it runs down the bloody river. That's why the floods take so long to go away. Because the water's got to go through all the sandstone in all these great big mountains. Can you see what it is? It's a great big sponge. All right, that's the best way. And where does it all come out? Right here, baby. Right here. Hawkesbury, Mooney. All that has got to come out right through there. And that's why, in my previous story, I wrote, where was the first road from Sydney to Newcastle? Because they couldn't get across. So, if you want to go down and look at that one, this is why. And why couldn't they put a bridge in at Wiseman's Ferry? All right, let's quickly answer that one. Riverlands Caravan Park, the Mission 9 to Hawkesbury River. See how it winds around? That's like a plugged up drain pipe. When you think about it, all that water in the mountains up there is all trying to come down this snaky sort of river. It can't just flow down a straight piece of conduit pipe. Now, go in the backyard, get the kids out there and teach the kids. Go and get half a kilometre, Dad, on a straight PVC pipe. And you time how quick the water goes down there. For let's say 1 kilometre, PVC pipe in your brain, right? You do the speed of water calculations. How fast does water travel on an average of a 5-degree angle? How fast does it travel? And then you put water down a 5-degree angle pipe and snake it around like that. It's got friction coming around the corners. So it banks up, and that's why the Hawkesbury floods and everywhere else floods. And that's why when they first settled the Hawkesbury, oh, this is great fertile soil. Look at it, it's bloody brown. See, that's soil. Why is it different colour down here? Look. Why can you see the clouds in it? Because that's the salt water. So the salt water comes up, and it's called brackish. And that's where it meets. There's the tidal with the satellite camera change. Can you see it now? See, that's low tide. That's high tide. Water goes in, water goes out. Water goes in, water goes out. So if you don't know anything about rivers and you wonder why kids get drowned, Show your kids this video and that will explain it to them. Water comes in, water goes out. It's like a great big long drain pipe. Now, why didn't they build a bridge at Wiseman's Ferry? And people ask me several times, why haven't they ever built a bridge at Wiseman's Ferry? Why do they still run a ferry boat? Because, look, there's nowhere to put it. Very simply. You've got a huge rock face there, and what's coming around the corner? Look what you got. You got the McDonald River drain pipe, pardon the punt, bang, straight through. You got the Hawkesbury River, comes around the corner, squeezes into this, and rubs right up against the edge of the bank. Does that make sense now? You've seen all those American YouTube video clips. You see the water come around the corner and they're washing a house away, and it goes underneath a bridge and hits the bridge and the bridge gets knocked down. So what's the point? It's not worth it. See the problem? It is too narrow between there and there. Look, I can stick my finger on it. But over here, I've got 3 fingers. That's why they only got a ferry. And you know how many times the Hawkesbury Ferry at Wiseman's Ferry has lost its moorings during floods? Let's see if I can find out. I'll put you on pause and I'll see if I can find a few statistics. Disaster loomed at Brooklyn Bridge as 4 ferries tore. Let's have a look at this. Disaster loomed for Brooklyn Bridge as 4 ferries tore towards it. Colo Shire Family History Group. During the weekend before Easter 1978, 3 days of constant heavy rain combined with flood waters from the Colo Groves McDonald River was enough to cause severe flooding along the Hawkesbury River. Although regulations have changed over the years, in those days, once the river reached a certain metre height, the bridge at Windsor, the Sackville and Lower Portland ferries were taken off their cables, followed by the ferries at Webbs Creek and Wiseman's Ferry. The flow of water was so strong on this occasion that ferries 8 and 55 at Wiseman's Ferry had pushed together with debris collected all around them. Webbs Creek Ferry number 26 was stranded in the middle of the river after being hit by 1 metre tidal wave. Can you believe this? Look. By 1 metre tidal wave after coming from the Colo River. Now the Colo River comes all the way from Mudgee. One report said the water was like a surf wave and it hit the Webbs Creek Ferry full on. Soon after, a small wooden ferry that had been up on the slipway floated off in the flood. It collided with number 55. Those 3 ferries then lashed together, but soon after, the force of the water and the build-up of the debris against number 26 forced the cable to pull out of the bank. You see those big poles in the bank? And ferry was forced around the bend in the river where it collided with the other 3 ferries. These ferries were broken away from their moorings by the force of the collision, and 4 ferries were carried downstream on the flood. With Russ Mitchell, Robin Pawsey and Alan Curran on board, as they floated past Lawtondale, the wooden ferry began to sink and they had to cut it loose. I was told about that ferry being sunk on the bottom of the river. I was told about it many years ago. Webbs Creek eventually secured in some mangroves. The combined weight of the ferries and debris is estimated to be 650 tonnes, travelled about 18 knots. Travelling at about 18 knots. Oh my God, that's over 25 miles an hour. And they feared that the ferries would not be able to be stopped before colliding with the bridge at Brooklyn. 2 tugs from the Church Point ferry service were brought in to try and control the ferries, and a large ferry was finally secured at Pete Island, while the smaller one was caught just 50 metres from the bridge. There was constant radio and telephone contact with acting Shire clerk of the Colo Shire. Well, Colo Shire now is part of the Hawkesbury City Council, Hawkesbury Shire Council. The police and fire brigades throughout the drama, men and ferries, really owe their lives to a Gosford Council employee who parked his ute on the top of the Mangrove Mountain to act as a relay station so everybody could maintain radio contact. So they're talking about the 27 meg CB radios back in them days. The men who rode the ferries and the other Colo Shire employees on the Peat Island to help repair and float the ferries back up to the river after the floods receded. Within a week, a Weisman Ferry and Webbs Creek ferry services were back to normal. So there you go, just a little bit of 1978. Now that's a 1978 flood, so I remember those quite well. I was 17, so I was 17 in 2 months. There you go, really when I get my birthday. All right, let's go back. Let's have another look at another one. Runaway ferries. What's this one say? New South Wales floods. Bushfires, then floods. Weisman Ferry say they're both just as bad. Oh my God, look at this. Look, he's standing in it. John and Sue Brooks clean up the floating debris in the backyard Thompson Square home in Windsor. Now, do you know Thompson Square at all? Okay, well, over here is the new Windsor Bridge. Thompson Square, that's the one where it comes up over the new Windsor Bridge. That's called Thompson Square, Thompson Avenue. Man dies after cow drop in floodwaters in Sydney's northwest. Yeah, well, that'll be wherever that was. Where was he at? Evacuation. Sandbagging, absolutely pouring rain. Look. And you wonder why the Hawkesbury floods. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look. Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that great? Poor buggers. Look at this guy. He's sitting up here. Look. She's sitting up here. Oh, what am I going to do about it? Patricia Parker, 86, views the submerged homes with safety from her sons and daughter-in-laws. Where was she at? Hill behind her, Nagels Gully, a few kilometres down from Wiseman's Ferry. Now where she's staying. We got her out in time, and big thing, her daughter-in-law. How'd you like that for a backyard swimming pool? So what does Wiseman's Ferry flood? Oh look, got to donate the VBB, mate. You got to donate the beer. You wouldn't be Australian if you didn't. Oh look, you can go and look up all this you like. I mean, I could sit here all day doing all this. But what's it all show you? People just don't realise that this here, see, you've got this waterway up here. Now, where does all this water come from? All right, let's go up here and have a look. You know what I'm going to tell you, don't you? Broke. Let's have a look. Let's see if I'm right. McDonald River or Bulga. Let's have a look. Oh, look. Yengo Valley and Yengo National Park. Anybody remember that on the news? Yengo National Park. The Putty Road. Remember the Putty Road? The little boy disappeared. Yengo National Park. See, here we go. Garland Valley. And what's that? Putty Road. There you go. And then you come right out here and you come around the bend here and then we come up here to the big statue is. Where's the Yowie one? Oh, there's a Yowie story one down there somewhere. Hang on, where are we? Oh, there we go. Dave Thurston's Tables. Look, there you go. Go and check him out. You ever seen this one? Dave Thurston's Tables. He doesn't just do tables. I've done a story on this thing. You want to buy that? Look at that. It's all stainless steel. He wants $500,000 for it. I know, Dave. He's in my phone book. Yeah, I ring him. I've actually got his number. He's in the old halfway house truck stop, which burnt down. I used to go and have my lunch in there when I was a kid. See the old Bowsers? I've done a video on it. Get down on my channel. You see me stand over there next to the old petrol pump. And there's a sticker on the wall, and it says, what's his name? The American actor. He's now out here in Australia doing a movie. Does a copy one. Can't think of his name. I'm getting too bloody old. I'll think of his name in a second. I just dropped it on myself. Right, we can go down and see him, and then Putty Road. See, this is Goulburn Valley. Well, if you want to follow all that, Dave Thurston would love to see it there at the moment. He's had 2 years of lockdown from the coronavirus, and he makes his living by selling bacon and egg rolls, $5 a hit. Now you think, $5 a hit. But look, you've got to remember where Dave is. Dave's out here in the middle of bloody nowhere. Look. And he has to drive all the way down here, right up here into Singleton to go buy the groceries. Then he's got to store it, and then when he drives all the way back again. And that's an hour and a half's drive. So just be, grateful that the guy, and he cooks it in this great big beautiful horse barbecue. Now, if you haven't seen his horsey barbecue, he does all this sort of stuff. Where's his horse barbecue? There it is. There's his horse barbecue. See, I told you. A stainless steel horse barbecue. And it's right there behind, that's a horse barbecue there. There it is there. It's right behind the statue. It's a great big stainless steel barbecue. Look, he makes up all these fantastic, that's all he does. All that stainless steel. It's incredible. Getting off water, aren't we? Yeah, I know. I love Dave. He's a great bloke. He's out there in the middle of nowhere. So get out there during the coronavirus. Look at that. I mean, isn't that incredible? He's over 70. There's his barbecue. Look. Bacon egg roll on a great big thing like that. Looks like a horse. He sits there all day. He sits there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for 12 hours. Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, I think. Look, he's even got picnic tables. So, that's Dave Thurston. He's all the way out there. Pardon me. To go there and pay him a visit. So you want to see how far out he is? Look, there's Windsor, Penrith. There's Windsor way down there. Oh, look. Sorry. Yeah, there's Windsor. There's Dave Thurston, way out there. I did a video out there for Crude Bear, and she knows it. She's over in Houston, Texas. She knows all about it. So, Goulburn Valley. That's where that kid disappeared, the little boy, and they searched him out there for 3 days, and they said, we got done, blah, blah, blah. And he was out here on the Putty. That's where he was. David Pilates turned around and said, the little boy lost out there on the Putty Road out there in this valley over here, Yango National Park. He wasn't actually, he was on this side of the road. See, because there's no houses really on this side. So 2 houses. Right? He was over here. I done a YouTube video. I drove in all these roads down here. Or around the back of the Putty Road. I've driven all them. Get down and see my video, you'll see it. I actually drive right over that creek. Beautiful countryside, beautiful. It's a real ice, it's all mountain ranges. and you've got a grassy sort of cattle grazing, horse grazing area right in the middle of all this, out in the middle of mountain terrain, and there's a putty valley. It's a really, I wouldn't say to die for, but it's really, if you are in Australia, go out there and have a look. Drive down those roads one day. Now, get back to the water. All right. There's McDonald Water. There's Maruta, Webb's Creek, St Albans, High McDonald, Mogo, Yengo Valley National Park. Mosquito around my face. I accidentally, I took a wrong road there one day. I drove out of Broke and I come down through, where did I go? Oh, I come down this road. Mongo Creek Road. I come down here past here. And there's a creek somewhere. Sorry, Dave, got to get rid of you. Bing. And we were so bloody hot. We come around the... Oh, this is it. This is where I was. And there was a farmer. I wonder if this has got Google Earth. Let's see if we've got Google Earth down there. Oh, yes, it does. Let's have a look. So there's a creek. But that's not the bit I was... No, this is obviously after the floods. It's gone all brown. Oh, anyway, so I was driving down here and we were stinking hot and we were sweating. I mean, this backpacker, we're hitchhiking. We were driving back down from Queensland. And I said, oh, I know the way, being a young, bright whippersnipper, you know. And I stuffed up, didn't I? I was meant to come down the old Pacific Highway and cut across and come over here and come down the Putty. Down this way. But somehow I got on this bloody back road and I come down through here. Oh, mate, talk about out in the foothills. Oh, let's even just, anyway. But all that rainwater, can you see it? That's water. Let's have a look. This is just anywhere on the road, look. This is where we drove down in a rent-a-car. It's about 40 years ago. I mean, it wasn't even like that. It was a dirt road back then. It didn't worry me. I just kept driving. Oh, man, that's a great road to go on. Mogo Campground. Go out there and have a look. Check it out. It's out in the middle of bloody nowhere. You want to go out to Australian bush, go out there. Anyway, let's get back on the water. Sorry, raving on. Silly old bastard I am. So you wonder where all the flood water comes down there in the Wiseman's Ferry, and that's why they won't build the Wiseman Ferry Bridge. Does that now sum it all up for you? So you've got 14,000 square kilometres behind Warragamba Dam, 14,000 square behind Nepean. You've got 14,000, let's say 14,000 up on the Collo, right up there from Mudgee, and you've got, say, 10,000 up there, up the Gross, because the Gross River is, let's have a look at the Gross River real quick. There's the Collo River. And let's see, all right, you want to see how far away the Collo River goes. It winds up here. And it winds up here. Cuts its way through the mountain ranges. Cuts up here through here. Where are we? Morgan's Valley. Right, where's Mudgee? Right, there's Ben Bullen. Right, let's see, all right, let's do it the easiest way. We'll start up here. Cox's Creek, so that obviously joins in down there with Cox's River. Where's Mudgee? Right, well there's Muswellbrook. So where does the water at Muswellbrook go? Hunter River. That Hunter River, that obviously goes right back down there to Singleton. Right, No, that's not what I want. Sorry, I flick it around too quick and then the computer can't keep up with me. Mirror, Goulburn. See, there's Goulburn. I've been everywhere, man. There's Goulburn, right? If you didn't know where Goulburn is, there it is. And there's Mudgee. I threw a guy's body into a wheelie bin. They screwed him up, his body in a wheelie bin. They threw him in the creek and it come down the Colo River. That's why I know it's a fact. It was on the news. Sad to say. Isn't that horrible? Righto. So let's have a look. Water comes out of Mudgee and just starts running down here. Kudgegong River. And that runs down here. There we go. I think I've got the general idea. Kudgegong runs down here. Kudgegong runs over there. Kudgegong runs over here. Now, you got to remember this is all mountain ranges. Kudgegong runs all the way down there. I'm following it down. You just got to trust me. Whoop, I'm going to a dead end. I missed the turn off. Where'd you go? Lost it. Kudgegong down here. Kilgoola. Where'd you go? Lost it. Well, I know this. There's Candos. Anyway, somehow the guy floated out down there at Colo River and got thrown in at Mudgee. So he's gone from, where are we? He's gone from Mudgee up here, and somehow he's floated all the way down here, right down here, down the Colo. He's gone down through there in the floodwaters, big floodwaters. But look, you can basically see it yourself. It just goes down through all the mountain ranges. It just wiggles its way down. Anyway, that's going to do it there for me, Mr. Hominoid. That's talking too bloody long. I could talk to you all day about rivers and water and places I've been. And I mean, like, did you know, I'll finish it off. You want to go win a bet in the local pub? All right, okay, here's a bet for you. Okay, you're up here on the Queensland border. There's Wallangarra. There's the home of Peter Allen, Tenterfield Saddler. And up here north of that is the Bruxner Highway. Now you see the water here? Look, it's a dead end, right? Follow that there, and it comes all the way over here, Tenterfield Airport, runs all the way down here, and comes down the Mole River, M-O-L-E, Mole River, comes down the edge of the Queensland border, and you can go look that one up, and then it travels all the way out here, going up north. This is going to blow your socks off, along the Queensland border, look. And then you know where it ends up? Adelaide in South Australia. That's right. Adelaide in South Australia. So there's no real guessing where water goes in Australia. So you can really follow all that there if you like. Get them follow it. Got there for the Tenterfield Creek. Oh look, we're being go to Texas in Australia. So if you really want to go down there, show you the actual bridge, what I'm talking about. It's down on my channel actually. I stand there right in the water, right? I stand right on the water. That one there, Queen's Crown Head Bridge inspection. That water there at Tenterfield goes to Adelaide in South Australia. And in the video, you see the water going that way. And look, as I still got the twigs up there on top of the bridge, let's have a look. The same twigs I filmed 3 years ago. So that's why they're on that side of the bridge. because the water's going that way. And the water's not coming this way. They're going this way. The twigs wouldn't be there, would they? They'd be going that way. The debris be going that way. See? So that water at Tenterfield goes to Adelaide in South Australia. So a finishing note, let's have a look at big old beautiful Queen's Crown Head Bridge. There you go. They said railways didn't build Australia. That's what I do. Water movement for railways. See you later from Mr. Hominoid Down Under. MrHominoid@gmail.com. You wouldn't know anything about Australia. I'd love to help you. You're in the US or any other country. You want to come out here for a holiday. You want to see some beautiful places. Mate, I can show you some places and blow your socks off. Wouldn't believe all that there goes underwater, would you? Yeah, that's a floodplain. Well, look, you can see for yourself. See the flood debris? Think. The only safe place to sleep will be on top of the bridge, but I wouldn't be sleeping up there. You know where I'll be sleeping? Right over there on top of there, on the dirt. That's where I'll be sleeping. Because this here goes underwater too. Yep, this here goes underwater. Hard to imagine. And that's why you got this up the road. See that track road? That's why that's there. Because when people get stuck up there when the floods are on, that's where they park their car. That's where they've got to wait it out. Many a news item where people sitting over and there saying, oh, we're stuck. We've got to wait for the floodwater to go down. That's why that road's over there. Just another bit of trivial crap. But that's what our government does in our country, of floods and bushfires and dust storms, and we have all these little things set up. So from Mr. Hominoid Down Under, have a good night. Hope you enjoyed New South Wales. If you want to come down to Australia, give me a yell. It's only my little backyard. Not my backyard? It's pretty good, eh? By the way, if you're from America or anywhere else, what was the original name of New South Wales? Remember when the British first came out here? It wasn't called New South Wales. It's called New Southern Wales. Wales, as in Wales in England, New Southern Wales. Queensland was named after the Queen. South Australia, because it was in the south of Australia. Victoria was named after Queen Victoria. Tasmania was named after Abel Tasman. Right? Northern Territory was originally called the Northern Territory. But that's not the original map. You go check it out yourself. You find out originally how far the Northern Territory in South Australia really was. And yes, we do have the largest fence in the world. It's a dingo fence. It goes from here over to here. One fence. See you later from Mr. Hominoid. Watch out for those dingoes, they bite.